Kirkwood has many titles. She is an entrepreneur, lawyer, wife, and mom. But professionally, what excites her most is being known as a skilled presenter and valued teacher. Not many people would leave a safe job as a corporate attorney to start their own firm. But Ashley did that, and she has experienced exceptional success. After she started her own firm, she discovered her true calling, speaking. You could tell, right? She knew she had a lot to offer, but she started getting small paid gigs. She quickly grew frustrated with the accepted roadmap to a speaking career, which is to grind out for years, get low paid jobs. Everybody's talking about that. Oh, you need to pay your dues all the time. So Ashley got to work and cracked the code. Girl, I want to know that. Don't you all want to know that? How she cracked the code? By sheer will and talent. She discovered it's not a matter of making a name for yourself over time. A successful speaking career is about presenting yourself the right way to the right people in the right organizations. And so, guys, you are welcome to this segment of the Sunset Drive, where we get to hang out with Ashley Nicole, who is visiting Ghana. Are you visiting Ghana?
Yeah, I'm visiting Ghana.
Yes, there you go.
Yes, I am visiting.
Alrighty then. And so one of my colleagues met Ashley yesterday at some kind of a mixer, and we're going to talk a little bit about that. But for right now, so for those of you who don't know, Sunny 88.7 FM, we're doing a program on the 27th of January that is called Start Right. Start Right basically is, how do you start your year? How do you jumpstart yourself to start your year? And we have incredible people on there, Yawa Hansen, Kwao, and a lot of other speakers who are going to be helping us to jumpstart our year. And Nicole is here to kind of help us get to January 27th. So my very first question for you, Nicole, is...
Ashley.
Sorry. Well, because it's N, so I figured. But it's Ashley, yes. But my very first question for you is, how do you jumpstart your year as an entrepreneur?
Well, I'm jumpstarting my year by traveling here. So, it varies for everyone. I think that you jumpstart your year before the year starts. Mm-hmm. So for every entrepreneur listening, what I would say is that the success of your 2024 is built on your 2023. Mm-hmm. So the actions you take typically in Q4 of 2023, so October, November, December of 2023, you'll probably do your annual planning. Mm-hmm. And what we do is we plan every single marketing effort mm-hmm. that we are going to have in 2024 and 2023, right, so that we can make sure that we're hitting our revenue goals for mm-hmm. the year. So mm-hmm. you start your year strong by starting your year before mm-hmm. 2024, started at least the Q4 of 2023, mm-hmm. and plan out what are the activities you're going to do to generate revenue. Are there new product lines you're going to launch? Mm-hmm. I also met with my coach at the beginning of this year and was mm-hmm. like, hey, this is the revenue goal that we want to hit for the year. These are the product lines that we think will help us to hit that goal. Help me ideate through something that we should be launching now in response to the market. Mm-hmm. So getting great mentorship, investing in great mentorship, and then planning your year ideally as soon as you can. So if you haven't planned it yet, plan it now. But planning your year the year before really does help, and specifically planning your marketing efforts, mm-hmm. things that are going to give you money in your business, because mm-hmm. that's what you should be focused on. Right. If you're an entrepreneur, it's like, how am I going to get cash into the business so that the business can grow and sustain and eventually scale? Right. So what I'm taking away from this, a new product in your product-based business, or if you're releasing a new service for your service-based business, or you're re-releasing an old service, or you just want new customers in, do a launch. Mm-hmm. It could be a series of emails, it could be an event, it could be what we did last night. Last night was an event that we were able to host, plan, and execute in less than 5 days. Wow. Yes. And so shout out to Melissa at the Strategist Company. Mm-hmm. She was our event planner, and shout out to Team Speak Your Way to Cash, because my team was incredible. They jumped mm-hmm. in and was able to get it done. So I don't recommend people do it in like 5 days or less, but that is considered a launch event, like mm-hmm. a big event to get a lot of your ideal clients in the mm-hmm. room, and then you would traditionally sell them something. Now, we did the event to really give back to to the entrepreneurs who live in Accra. So we didn't sell like a big offer at the event. We had like a small VIP ticket if folks wanted that, but anyone who wanted to show up, who got there, was able to show up and get served, and we did a workshop and all of that. But let's say we wanted to utilize that as a money-making event, which it was not. But let's say we did. If we wanted to utilize that to make money, I would have done it very differently. I would have invited only people who qualified to be our clients.
Right.
So our marketing message would have been different. It would have been an entirely different experience, and we would have charged everyone to be in the room, because that way, there's at least some interest.
Right.
And so if you're in business and you're thinking, how can I generate additional revenue? How can I grow my business? Use a launch, a dedicated event to get your ideal customers in the room so that you can sell them an offer and serve them at the highest level with your services.
Wow. I'm so glad you talked about yesterday, because that's my segue question. You talked about the fact that 24 hours is not all there is in a day, right?
There's not. Yeah.
Exactly. And a lot of people were very curious about that. I mean, now we're on live radio, so I'm thinking you definitely want to expound on that for me. What do you mean when you say there's not 24 hours in a day? Because I'm thinking everybody gets 24 hours, right? So
and that's the fallacy. That's the fallacy that we've all been sold.
It's a fallacy.
That's the fallacy that we've all been sold. Okay, let's get into this. Let's get into this, because you guys, have you heard the saying, we all have the same 24 hours?
That's what we all keep hearing. So please blow my mind.
But we know that that's not true. Do you want to know how we know that's not true?
How?
Because if I have I remember, because when I first started my business, I really only had 24 hours. It was just me running the business. So my 24 hours determined what the business would accomplish. But as our business has scaled, and we now have a team, and we now have a larger community, that 24 hours isn't really 24 hours. Take the event, for example.
Right.
We were able to plan it in 5 days, right? But in reality, it wasn't just me working on the event for all 5 days. That would be limited. No, it was Melissa and her team. It was the volunteers. It was my team back home, 3 or 4 team members, building all of the funnels. So we don't all have 24 hours. In fact, I probably utilized 72 hours in a 24-hour time period, because while I was sleeping, my team was building out the funnels, because they're on different time zones.
Right.
While I was sleeping, another team member was sending out all the emails. So my 24 hours and what I can accomplish looks very different than someone else's 24 hours if they don't have a team.
Right.
So we don't all have the same 24 hours. That said, what we have to do as business owners is figure out, what is our capacity? So if right now it's just you and your business, then you got 24 hours.
You literally do.
You literally have 24 hours. Except that if you can leverage tools like AI, if you can leverage tools like automation, if you can leverage tools like pre-scheduling your content, well, now that 24 hours looks very different. Because what used to take me 10 hours to write an email, I can use ChatGPT, which I basically call MailChimp. Automate your emails through MailChimp. Like I consider ChatGPT, for people listening who aren't familiar, we had about half the room that was familiar, half the room that wasn't.
Right.
So for people who aren't familiar, I consider ChatGPT like a Google that actually does the question.
And does the answering too.
And the answering. So
and
in Google,
everything else in between.
I can Google and say, how do I set up an email? But in ChatGPT, I can say, how can I set up an email? And then when it gives me an answer, I can say, great, now write an email using that framework.
And then you can even say, can you recommend where I can kind of funnel all these emails through and get all these other little places where you can actually, get it automated and stuff, which is really great.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so then your 24 hours is not exactly
your 24 hours is different. and the difference is your 24 hours is different based on what you know. So if you're someone who knows nothing about automation, nothing about ChatGPT, you haven't gotten knowledge to leverage all of these things, your 24 hours looks different. So it's not always about the money you have. Your 24 hours can expand with the knowledge you have. And so I encourage everyone, we were taught working hard looked like, picking up boxes, doing manual labor. But guess what the hard work is that entrepreneurs should be doing now? Learning, investing in themselves, reading books, looking at YouTube, looking at different courses, buying books, looking on Instagram. So we need to do the hard work of expanding our intellectual capital, because that capital can convert to cash in your bank account.
Wow. Thank you so much. I see a lot of people online right now. Guys, you are very welcome to this chat, on the Sunset Drive on Sunny 88.7 FM. And again, I just wanted to remind you guys, on the 27th of January, we have a Start Right conference, and these are some of the nuggets you're going to be getting, only deeper, right? And we kind of invited Ashley here to kind of help you figure out how to jumpstart your year. And then, we're going to take it from there on the 27th of January at the Alyssa Hotel. And it's going to be starting at 8:30. Madam Producer, you may please remind me, 8:30? I think it's 8:30, and then it ends at 3:30 p.m. Now, this is a personalized question, but I'm going to ask it anyway. So it looks like yesterday you talked about a few things, and this person wants to know, how can a restaurateur who owns a business in the business district of Accra and serves lunch to corporate people expand and probably go to the rest of the world? I am not sure if I feel like I just put you on the spot with this question, but
that's really good.
Yes.
So I always tell people to start with the offer. What is going to be your offer to the rest of the world? What is it that you have that other people want and are currently looking for or asking for? So if you are local to Accra, that's where your base is. Then if you're going to do something and expand to the rest of the world, your offer is not going to be come to Accra to eat my food, because that's going to be a long trip. There's a lot of barriers to that
And
entry.
they're not going to do that.
And they're not going to be able to do that. If they see your ad on Monday, they sound like they can be in Accra within a couple hours without some planning and visas, because we were blessed to come at a time when you could do the on-site visa. But if you aren't coming during that time period, the visa process takes some time.
It's very long.
It takes some time. So for my people who want to come, and you are watching right now in the States, plan now, okay? So you can make sure you come. So what would be the offer? The offer could be virtual cooking classes for people all around the world who want to learn how to make the cuisine that your restaurant offers. Like jollof. We did a jollof cooking class. It was incredible.
Wow.
It was incredible. So you have that. It could be, hey, I'm going to teach people who want to start a business how to start a restaurant all over the world. I'm going to have an online chef school teaching you how to bring in African cuisine to wherever you currently reside. But you need to think of an offer. And then after you have your offer, you're going to do what I call market research. Now, my clients know that I harp on this all the time.
I can see that.
Market research is critical. Like, do not just be going into the market trying to sell stuff that don't nobody want, okay?
Hello.
And oftentimes, we sell what we want to sell. That's not customer service.
No.
And customer service is, what do you want, and giving people what they want. There was a woman who's a emerging business owner. Well, she owns a business now, a real estate business, and she came to my hotel today, and she gave me glasses, and I was like, "This is incredible." Eyeglasses,
Okay.
because if you ever follow me, I'm on Instagram at the Ashley Nicole Show. I am like a glasses. I don't know. What do you call it?
What you're wearing is very fancy. I was looking at it. Very, very cool.
Thank you. I have over 35 pair of prescription glasses. I've had to wear glasses since I was a little girl.
Wow.
So she followed my Instagram, looked at all the glasses that I own, and then she determined, hey guys, then she determined what glasses she should get me.
Because she gave you what you didn't have.
Yes, she gave me what I didn't have.
That's market research.
That's market research. And then on the spot, I was like, okay, great. Tell me more about what you do. And she told me what she did, and I was like, great, you should be our ambassador for Ghana.
Wow.
And she was like, I would love that. And so now we're talking about how we can do deeper work together, because I identified a skill set that she has, and I don't even know if she sees it as a skill set. Everyone gave us gifts, and we appreciate all gifts, and they were all incredible, and they were all amazing. But she gave me what she knew I wanted. So I had no choice but to find out, what does she want? What are your desires? That's called the law of reciprocity. A lot of people, and it's just it's selfish, but I don't know if we consider it selfish. We only think about ourselves.
It is selfish.
And it's
but
a
that's
really
how we're
selfish way to run a business.
Yeah. That's
you know?
how we're ingrained to, you know.
That's how we're ingrained.
We can get into this for days, you and I, like literally, and maybe we'll talk about that on the other end of this. But another personalized question is, what is the step-by-step procedure to scaling up a fashion business? I was thinking, oh my God, we're coming at her at all different angles. But just speaking with you for a few minutes, I know like you can handle this, so you go.
Yeah, so a fashion business, what kind? Is it clothing?
Looks like it is, yeah.
Okay, awesome. So the first step, of course, is figuring out what are your offers. Now, if you have a product-based business, your offers are going to be based on the various product lines that you sell.
Right.
So you may sell dresses, you may sell shirts, you may sell hats. After you know what your product line is, you're like, okay, well, who does this serve? And I heard this a lot last night. We can serve everyone.
You really can't. You literally
hear
can't.
that a lot, and I'm always like, I know you want to serve everyone, and I know that you eventually could, depending on where you scale to. But in the beginning, you need a niche that is qualified and that has a single marketing message. So the rule is you need one marketing message, one operations message, one sales message. If it requires multiple marketing messages, multiple sales messages, multiple operations mechanisms, then it's going to be more difficult for you to scale it up. So initially it's figuring out what are your products, then who is your audience, and then after you know who your audience is, where do they hang out, who has their ear, so what influencers do they listen to, where are they at in terms of social platforms, is it Facebook, is it Instagram, is it LinkedIn? Then you want to put gas on that fire by running advertising. So you can either pay influencers to wear your clothes and have that help grow your brand. You can run ads. You can send more emails or increase the number of emails you sell. You can pay other people to send emails to their list. You can sponsor events like the events that we've hosted, like the event that you all have coming up. You can do all of these things in order to put gasoline on that fire. But the first thing I would have someone do if they were working with me is show me what you already sold.
Okay.
Because if you have any amount of revenue in your business, that is data that is telling you exactly what the market wants. So what emails are people clicking on if you're sending one email a week? What are they buying more of? What are you always sold out of? What are the sizes that people are mainly buying? If your smalls and mediums never sell, be a plus size brand, honey. If everyone buying your clothes is XL, 2XL, 3XL, 4XL,
then you
be a plus size brand. Okay, so those are some things that you can do to really scale up if you're a fashion brand.
Oh man.
My bio, the very first link is a free masterclass called Corporate Selling Secrets. All you have to do is click that link and you can register for absolutely no cost. And in my link in bio, you can get the first part of my book called Speak Your Way to Cash for free, and it's all about mindset. And that is something we didn't get to talk about today, but the way you think is the world, like you literally, your thoughts create things. So if you're an entrepreneur and you want to start right, it starts with getting your thoughts right, and then that becomes your beliefs, and that transforms into your actions. So go to @TheAshleyNicoleShow or SpeakYourWayToCash.com and follow me there. And if you are on Facebook, you can join the free Speak Your Way to Cash Facebook group at any time.
And with that, guys, we are at the end of today's show. Thank you so much for joining us. And again, just to remind you that this is just a preliminary to the Start Right conference on the 27th of January, which begins at 8:30 a.m. in the morning. And I think my producer is definitely going to be putting out some information about how to, get registered and all that. And so from Sunny FM 88.7 FM, Sunny 88.7 FM, the biggest Christian radio station in Ghana right now. We're so excited about that. Thank you guys for joining us. And it's been me, Zoe Baraka, and of course, Ashley Nicole in the studio. We want to say thank you for joining us and being part of the conversation, and we'll see you later. Bye-bye.
Well, thank you so much, Zoe and Ashley, for that interesting conversation. But remember, the Start Right is happening on the 27th of this month at Alisa Hotel.